Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Millicent Musuwa and I'm so excited to be filming this video. So in today's video, I just thought, you know what, today I knocked off early. Let me share about my career journey and couple it with more information about the graduate mentorship program. Okay, so I'm just gonna let me start with telling you guys what the program is about, and then I can share my career journey, and I think everything will make sense why I had to come up with this initiative. Okay, so first of all, sometime last year or something like that, I did host a career guidance on my channel, and also that is related to my career journey, which is gonna make sense for you why I had to host a career guidance on my channel. And I think we were focusing on IT because that is what I know, right? And if you're matriculant and you'd like to know more, or sometimes you can be a graduate that just happened to study IT but you have no idea how the industry is, you can catch up on the career guidance. It was going live, and I think I still saved the video. I'll share the links on the description box below, right? And okay, going into the graduate grooming program, this one, it is not a job, right? Some people were asking, are we getting paid? It's not a job, guys. This is just to groom you while you're sitting at home and not doing anything. And then secondly, I already have the graduates. They actually started. It's been a week now. I don't know, but yeah, they've already started. They started on the 1st of Feb, and it's going to run through the month of Feb. So I shortlisted graduates last year because I posted this on LinkedIn, because I feel like LinkedIn is more of a professional career platform compared to Instagram. On Instagram, it's all about lifestyle and small business owners. Those are the vibes that I get on my Instagram feed. Maybe. So I didn't really advertise it there. I advertised it on LinkedIn, and people who were graduates who were interested, they sent through their CVs. I went through their CVs. I was calling them one by one. Some of them were already in internship programs. So this one is specifically for that graduate who has completed their studies and they have graduated. They've got the degree or the qualification, but they're sitting at home, right? They're trying to apply for internships, they're not getting. They're trying to apply for jobs, they're not getting anything. But because I know that everyone have their own time, so I am grooming you while you're waiting to land your job or an internship program that you want. So the program is all about me teaching you. For example, I'll give with the business analysis, those that are training or being groomed in the business analysis, they're learning the tools that are there that we use, and they're also learning how to gather requirements. They're learning about UML diagram, which in simple terms I can say system flow design, because those are the roles and the responsibilities of a business analyst. You do not get this knowledge or this practical knowledge at school, because at school they give you the foundation. So the main objective of the program is to prepare you so that when you get that internship or when you get that job, you will be in a good position to secure it permanently, because that was my journey. In most cases, companies may hire you as an intern. Please, you need to know this. When you are going into the company and joining as an intern, you've got nothing to offer to them. They've got so much to offer to you. So this program is going to put you in a position that you will be able to offer something, or you will be able to understand quickly what they require from you, right? And because of that, because you'll be going with a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of exposure, you will be understanding if your boss maybe say to you, you need to do a process flow with this one, if you are part of the program, you will be able to know what they're talking about. Some of the terms that are used in the industry, some of the tools that we use in the industry, you will be able to know what they're talking about, which is going to make your job easier. And in most cases, when you're an intern, they look at your performance, and based on that, they start making decisions of whether they should take you permanently or not. And should you be part of the program and we groom you and you actually secure your permanent job, that will be success story for us, because that is the main objective of the program. So it's not a job, it's not an internship program, it's just me giving back to the community to say, if someone took a chance with me, did the same with me, and as I can still apply the same knowledge even after 8 years in the industry, surely I can do the same to the upcoming generation, and they can be able to secure their jobs, right? That's really what the program is about. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna be doing any intake this year, and I haven't decided if I will be doing intake twice or 3 times, but I know that the program is not for the whole year, it's only for 6 months. So the first month, if the attitude is good, then we're gonna start involving you in other tasks as well until you get a job, right? So yeah, going into my career journey. Oh wow, guys. First of all, let me start with where I studied. I studied at Vaal University of Technology, which is in the Vaal, and I thank God that I actually studied at Vaal University of Technology, because they actually offer business analysis as a major subject. And the way the course is just structured, when you come out of that place, you know exactly what you want to measure with, right? I knew when I came out of Vaal University that I wanted to be a business analyst, because before you graduate, you need to implement a project and that you get to present there, and then only when you've passed the project, or when they are happy with whatever that system or solution that you have implemented, then you can graduate. That was a blessing for me. Whereas in other universities, sorry, I don't know how they do. Maybe you just do a 3-year course and graduate immediately. But at Vaal University, that's what they do. And I hope they still do. And I loved that about it. So, however, I didn't want to study at Vaal. So, or let me rather put it this way. I didn't plan to study at Vaal. My initial plan was to study something to do with agriculture, and I wanted to study it at University of Pretoria, right? And on the year that I was supposed to go, I lost my dad, and I said it in my restoration story that things went south, right? So obviously there was no money. We had to make a plan, and that's when we started looking for, other institutions as, other option. Vaal University of Technology happened to be one of them. And even when I got there, I wanted to see if I can join there. I remember I wanted to, what was the name of the course? It has something to do with science and maths and labs and stuff like that. I was like, maybe I'll go for this one, right? And still there was no space, and they told us that they only have space in IT. And I was like, you know what, I'll take it. and I'm sure if you're a graduate or you're a matriculant and you're watching this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When you just get to university and you just take whatever that is there, because it becomes so stressful when you cannot, be enrolled for the course that you wanted to study. You just end up taking anything and see where it leads you. So yeah, that's how I enrolled into information technology. Guys, I did not have any IT background. I was coming from a village. I went to village schools, English as well. I only started speaking English at varsity. I remember I used to practice so much. And even with computers, because I was like really getting to see and use the computer at varsity. And the first 6 months I would go to lab and I would practice. I would take a book, a textbook, and practice how to type. And I used to type like just to press like a button. And then I started practicing. I started also watching YouTube videos on how I can type faster. And yeah, I started with basics, and for the first 6 months, and then the second month, that's when I enrolled for the real course. Because at Val University at that time, if you didn't have any computer background, they wouldn't enroll you into the course immediately. They take you through, I think, what they call a boot camp. I went through the boot camp, which is very, very, very difficult to pass that boot camp. So I put so much practice. I didn't have a laptop. I didn't have a computer in my room. So I used to go to the computer lab, and make sure that I practice until I passed, and I was enrolled into the course. Yeah, the course got started. My life at varsity, it was all about me knowing where I'm coming from, and that has always been my motivation to get up, because it was almost like I don't have a choice. Whether it's hard or not, I have to make it through, because going home, I'm the firstborn, I'm meant to be the breadwinner. It like there was nothing for me at home, so I thought this is the only option I have, is to push until I graduate. So then I pushed and I graduated in 2014. So before that, like I said, at Valley University, you have to come up with a project. So how the project works is you go and look for a real problem, and you come up with a solution. So we formed a group. I think it was two of a BA tester and a developer, right? So I was playing a role of gathering requirements, which is the role of a BA, and we had a developer who was developing the actual system for us. There was 3 of us, 2 girls and a guy. Yeah, I remember. So we worked on a system for doctors. So the doctor that I used to go to at varsity didn't have a system. So we asked him, can you be our client? Because as part of my course, this is what we're supposed to implement. So one of the problems that we were solving for him is that he was saying they were using an Excel spreadsheet, like there was no security to the information of patients, no password, no user rights, because even when you are a patient, the way you want to run your practice is you don't want everyone, even cleaners and receptionists, to have access to certain information of patients, because the patient could be someone they know, and maybe that person doesn't want that receptionist to know about what they're going through health wise. Those are some of the problems that the system was going to resolve. We developed it in such a way that there were user rights. If I'm a receptionist, I will be able to do functions that are about receptionists, like booking the doctor's calendar and stuff like that. And then the doctor will also have user rights based on his logins. He will be able to access other information. And the other major problem that he was facing is, let's say maybe you go and consult and you lie to him and say you have money in your medical aid, yet you do not have the money, and then he treats you, he submits the claim only for your medical aid to tell him that the patient actually doesn't have money. So then that was a problem for him, and it was a loss. And I think that was one of the major problems that we resolved for him. The system was integrated into the medical aid systems, so that whenever you say, I use Discovery and I have money, he can quickly query that using your ID number, and then it will tell him if you've got money or not. If you don't have money, he will tell you that, but it says that you do not have the funds. Then you pay cash. So that was the highlight of my career at that time, and I knew exactly that I want to be a business analyst. And again, it was just the grace of God, right? So leaving Val, obviously, like I was applying and nothing was happening, and that was 2014, because even if you're graduating in 2014 September, maybe you would have completed like in June in that year of 2014. So I started applying, I think, at the beginning of the year, and I got a job as a receptionist. I worked in Joburg CBD. The company was very, very, very small. Actually, when I got there, they promised me that I'm going to get an IT related job, and when I got there, I realized that there isn't any IT related job here. So they would say to me, may you please answer the phone? So before you know it, I was a receptionist. I lived in Soweto, and I was using, I think I was getting paid 3,500 at that time, and my accommodation was 400 and I was sending money home, and I was also saving up to pay for my project, because a project is regarded as more like a subject at Val. You have to pay for it. So then I managed to pay for it, and I managed to I didn't manage to raise money for my graduation. I continued, and then that company, because it was so small, sometimes would get paid, sometimes we wouldn't. It was just so hard for me, so I only lasted for 3 months. However, I used the advantage that I had access to computer, printer, and internet to start applying. So now I was just applying for everything, and I got a job at Sanlam. I worked at Sanlam. I was selling policies. They hired me, I think, in June. And then they told me that I'm gonna have to do training for the whole week, and I went back. I moved out of my room in Soweto, and I went back to rest, so that I know that NSFAS had already paid my accommodation for the whole year. So I had to register BTech so that I can continue to have accommodation. So I stayed at Val, and I was traveling to Germiston every single day for the whole week, attending the training. And then after training, you write the test. I wrote the test and I passed, and I started working as a sales consultant. I was selling policies. So, but they didn't really force you to come to the office. We were only required to come to the office probably on Fridays when we have business for the week. Business for the week means you've made some sales, and then you need to submit those policies, and so they can capture them in the system, and the debit order will go on. And also, there was no stable salary with Sanlam. You were getting paid on commission, but the commission was so good that my first salary was like 12,000 rands, and I was able to save money for my graduations, buying my mom some clothes, also getting her to travel, to come this side, and just to survive as well, also to send them money every month. So my brother and my sister and my mom were still at home, and I was staying at rest, but continuing to look for a job. And another thing why I say I've seen the grace of God is that I didn't have to go to the streets, to say, hey, don't you want a funeral policy? Hey, don't you want this? No, the security guards that were at rest, they were my customers. What that a part of my journey taught me is the power of planting seeds, guys. Every decision that you make, it's a seed that you get to reap later. The reason why I'm saying this is, when I used to stay at rest, there were times where my mother couldn't send me money for me to go back home during holidays, and I would stay at rest with international students, and sometimes I get to make relationships with security guards and cleaners. For example, let's say maybe Val is very cold. On cold days, I would offer them my kettle to say, you don't have to stay cold the whole night. If you need to make tea, you're more than welcome to make. I'll have like that kind of relationship with them, and because of that, it was easy for them to recommend my services to other security guards, and just like that, that's how I made the money. So after Sanlam, I resigned. I think towards the end of the year, I resigned at Sanlam because my brother got an opportunity and he needed to leave. So I had to resign so we can gather the funds and get him to go. I share more details in my restoration story video that I posted. And After that, I went back home, back to looking for the business analysis internship or a job. And I keep getting learnerships, and I ended up taking this other one. It was paying, I think, around 1,900. I was obviously not going to be able to pay for things like accommodation, buy food, and stuff like that. But I took the offer because I knew that it's going to save me money for having to do applications. I'm going to have access to internet, printers, and just to be around Gauteng, the city. It's better than being back at home, like in a village, So I think before even end of that month, I got another internship, which was paying 5,000 rands at Centracom. It's a company based in Woodmead. I went there as an intern, and it was purely IT support. And like I said, I knew exactly what I was looking for. I was looking for business analysis, and I knew that I wasn't going to complete it there, but I was just gonna serve for how long I was able to serve, and I left. And then fast forward, I finally got to send my applications to Zensar Technologies, called me for an interview. I did well. I'm sharing more details about this particular company. I literally forced myself into that company. So I'm gonna list all the links to the video. I'm gonna put all the links to the videos that I'm mentioning so that you can catch up. But anyway, went to Zensar, started at Zensar, I think around August or September towards the year of 2015. We were just literally preparing to be taken to India for training, which we went in Jan. I think first week of January, the day after my birthday, I think. Yes, and then we were there for 3 months and 2 weeks. And we came back. When we came back, they said to us, this particular group, we were like, I think not more than 10, just less than 10, of us. They said to us, we have trained you for one of our biggest clients. Actually, at that time, it was the number 2 biggest client, and that happened to be Discovery Health. And we went to Discovery Health, but when we got there, even as interns or trainees, right, they said we were going to go through a mentorship program or a grooming program. And this is why I came up with this one, because I went through that, and I want to say that God knew that He will instruct me in 2023 to do this, but He decided that I first go through it and I become the product of it. I am the product of that particular program that I had to do for 3 months before I was taken for a job. So guys, this is why I am coming up with this initiative, and this is why I did not even hesitate to say yes to God, because it's something that works and I see it in me. So that time, I found this mentor, very experienced business analyst. She was a senior at that time, and as I'm recording right now, I think she's now promoted to a business architect. Like, she knows so much, like she has imparted so much knowledge. But I had to play my part as well, because we were literally being taught how to do the work, and we were literally writing tests. Like, she'd come up with scenarios and say to you, I want you to design the system solution, and I want you to show me how multiple systems are going to be integrated and speak to one another, and design it and show it in a picture. And she also told me how to address different audiences, like within the IT industry. So it was just so much knowledge, to an extent that right now, today, even when, let's say, maybe I'm looking for a job or I'm looking to be placed, they would say to me, maybe an opportunity in banking, they would say, oh, you must be knowing SQL, for example, and I'll be able to say, from what I got from here, I got it. And maybe the other company would say, you must be able to use the enterprise architect too, and I'll go like, I got it. Mara, every time I look back, I realize that everything that I'm able to say, yes, I know, yes, I have, it's coming from that particular program. So I'm not surprised. When the word of God says he orders our steps, he surely orders our steps. So after discovery, obviously towards the end of the year, we were placed, and I was fortunate to be placed in an environment where we were implementing systems from scratch, because again, that is a good foundation, especially when you want to work within the software development life cycle. Before you can learn how to maintain existing systems, I think it's a good foundation to know how to implement them first. I mean, even let's say, for example, you're working in construction and you want to know about, building houses or whatever. You wouldn't want to start by knowing how to maintain the house, but you would want to be given the foundation of how to construct the whole thing, and then move into how to maintain and stuff like that. So I will always be grateful to my first employer for what they did to me, because I am able to do the same to others, right? And then from there, I remember I've worked on a couple of projects, very exciting mobile applications, and I got like system owners, thanking me, always sending a nice email to my boss to say, Millicent was this. And I say to you, it was because of that mentorship program, because even when they placed me in that particular department, I didn't have like, a senior BA to report to or someone to overshadow. I was just thrown under the bus. But because I had a mentor who showed me the work, it was now my time to apply that knowledge and work very hard so that we can deliver the projects within budget and on time. So one of the business owners for the projects that we were implementing nominated me for a star award in my first year of working with the company, and also working with a senior in the team, and they would always send those nice emails to my boss at that time. And I think I posted the star award nomination on LinkedIn, and because of that, an HR from FNB reached out to me, and they were offering me more than, I think double what Discovery was offering me. And at that time, I had a lot of responsibilities. I was open to my boss, and that's when I moved to join FNB. I joined the bank and I was there for a couple of years. However, that's when I began to have a clear indication of how my career is supposed to unfold, and I feel like God is calling me to invent innovations. So, but I had to go through this process and obey, as He guides and lead me. So yeah, from there, then I left FNB to be in consulting, and I started consulting through Tata Consultancy, and I've worked on one of the biggest projects, I think last year, last of last year, if not last year, somewhere there. And their clients are based in banking and insurance mostly, and so far I think I have to be more independent. Every time I get to work, I get a sense of you're gonna be more and more independent. But yeah, if you're following me and on this channel and you're walking this journey with me, I will be revealing some of the details soon. It's just that this is a public platform. I can't just really announce what's coming up, but you guys, as I've shared with you where I come from and the journey in my career, you'll obviously be updated as my career journey unfolds. So I hope you inspired from my story, and I just wanted to highlight to you, or a graduate, or maybe a matriculant, or even an older person, it's possible to change careers or start careers at any age. Should you be presented with an opportunity to serve. Actually, I always say your first 1 to 2 or 3 years in the field, you're not looking for money, so don't have that attitude of saying, hey, are you gonna pay me and stuff like that, when you see that the information is actually going to benefit you. I had graduates DMing me, asking me if I'm gonna pay them. Pay you for giving back to you, pay you for grooming you, for mentoring you. Why? I should be charging for that, but I decide to do it for free. So those are the kind of attitudes that are actually honestly blocking a lot of people. So look forward to learning if someone presents you with lifetime opportunities like this, and later in your career you will be able to name the price. This is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching up to this far. If you enjoyed the video or you inspired by the video, please comment below and let me know which part of my career journey inspired you, and give it a thumbs up, share with your peers. If you haven't subscribed, please, you are more than welcome to subscribe. Thank you so much. Cheers.